If you are looking to add another country to your Japan itinerary, look no farther because now is the perfect time to go and explore South Korea. I'll give you tips on how to get to South Korea from Japan and what to do while you're in South Korea. We'll also talk about record-breaking flights, flying business class, and plenty more, so you don't want to miss this. It's time to go to South Korea.
The next station is Seoul.
이번 역은 서울역, 지하 서울역입니다.
Hey guys, Hoang here, and today we are going to look at how easy it is to add a trip to South Korea to your Japan itinerary. We'll walk through everything you need to know from flights to how to get into the city, where to stay, and all the best attractions. Let's dive into it. First off, how close is South Korea from Japan? Well, a flight from Tokyo, Japan to Seoul, South Korea is around 2 hours and 40 minutes. Now, it is a relatively short flight and tickets can cost around 15,000 to 24,000 Japanese yen or in the 100 to 160 US dollar range if you get a really good deal and fly a budget airline. But it does seem to average closer to 30,000 to 37,000 yen or around $200 to $250 for non-budget airlines. But of course, you can always get better deals for this popular route. However, if you want to make it a bit more worthwhile, you can fly Asiana's world record-breaking route, which is flight code OZ101, and this is the world's shortest flight on the Airbus A380. The Airbus A380 is the world's largest passenger plane and has 2 full decks. It's massive. The best part is that for a bit more, or around 50,000 yen or 330 US dollars, you can fly business class with the full lay flat seats. So if you do opt for this business class route, you will get access to the Asiana Lounge before the flight, which has food, but don't stuff yourself too much there because on the flight itself, you will get a full business class meal. I had the pleasure of flying this route last year, and Asiana does have a lot of promo codes and discounts as well, so that could make it even cheaper. And even though this flight is short, going on the world's shortest A380 flight, flying business class was a pretty fun and pleasant experience. Though, as a side note about this flight specifically, they are possibly phasing out the A380 here with the last A380 planned flight happening on October 25th, 2025. So if you want to fly the world's shortest A380 route, then go soon. If you want to fly business class in the future from Japan to South Korea, other airlines like Korean Air and Zip Air offer relatively affordable business class prices for this route. All this being said, it is a short flight, but for the budget traveler, it is a good opportunity to be able to experience business class without breaking the bank. Anyway, enough about the flight. Let's get back to South Korea. As far as airports in South Korea go, if you are flying into Seoul, there are 2 major ones. Gimpo International Airport, which is the closer airport to downtown Seoul, and the farther but larger airport, Incheon International Airport. Think of Incheon like Narita and Gimpo like Haneda in Japan as far as relative location to the city. Incheon Airport is the larger airport, so we'll assume that you fly into there. Once at the airport, after getting all of your belongings and exiting customs and immigration, you will want to go to a convenience store and get a T-Money card. Like in Japan, where a Suica or Pasmo card is used for getting around, South Korea has their own IC cards like the T-Money card. After you get your T-Money card, you can either take the Airport Railroad Express or ARX, similar to the Narita Express or NEX train in Japan, or a bus, which is what I took as it was the more convenient and relaxing way to go directly to where I was heading. There are plenty of ticket purchasing machines where you put in your destination and it will tell you which bus to take and what times are available. I took the 6001 bus line, which runs from Incheon International Airport into Seoul and brought me straight to my destination and where I recommend that you stay, Myeongdong in Seoul. Myeongdong is kind of like the Shinjuku and Shibuya hybrid of Seoul. It's an area filled with trendy shops and amazing restaurants, and the best thing that is a bit different from anything in Japan is the bustling night market. We are in Myeongdong at the night market. I was a little sad to leave Japan, not gonna lie, but after being here, this is actually pretty wild. So this is fun. This is fun. Let's go enjoy some food. This is more of what I envision when I think of an Asian night market. There's tons of vendors lined up street after street selling amazing street food and desserts, and man, it was good. There is so much to try here, and here are some of my favorite things. Coming from Japan, the first thing I got was shrimp tempura, which was really good, but not quite a Korean must-try item. Definitely try tteokbokki or spicy rice cakes, and that is a street food classic here. Another classic is the seafood pancake, and that's also a pretty good one. There are plenty of skewer options, and we even got these steak bites from this place that was super popular and had a long line, and it was really good. There was also this really good taiyaki-like thing that was kind of like a Japanese taiyaki fish, but it was crispier and made of croissant mix instead, and that was really good. You can also get this marshmallow dessert that's a block of ice cream inside of marshmallow and then torched on the outside to create a crisp, warm outer layer and a cool, refreshing ice cream inside. In addition to tasting good, it was also really amusing to watch it being made. Now, the best dessert and the thing that we got over and over every night while we were there was this one stall called Street Croffle, and I'll link their Instagram below. If you don't know what a croffle is, well, it's basically croissant mix put into a waffle maker, and it makes an ultra fluffy and layered croissant in the shape of a waffle. And with all of those waffle squares, this makes the croissant have a lot of crispy surface area. All this to say, it's really good, and that with Nutella on top, man, it's totally worth a trip to Korea just to go and get this. So the food here is amazing, but in addition to just the street food, there are plenty of stores to shop around at. The stores around this area are super trendy and fashionable, and if you are into shopping, there is plenty to do here. There are also a ton of Korean beauty stores like Olive Young, Innisfree, and more. So definitely get your skincare products here. There's also a ton of Korean barbecue places, and we found a place called Ungtori Myeongdong Korean Barbecue Restaurant, and it had all-you-can-eat pork Korean barbecue for I think something around $11 per person. So we ate there, and it was well worth the price. There was another Korean barbecue place that we went to that was a bit more expensive, but the meat was amazing, and it was the Wangbijip Myeongdong main store. The meat quality here was top-notch, and one fun thing that we did was we ordered a grilled cheese, and honestly, I don't really know what we were expecting, but it was literally a slab of cheese that got grilled, and it was actually amazing. So if you're there, definitely try that. One thing that you will notice about being in South Korea, especially if you are coming from Japan, is that it's not quiet here. It's like completely different than Japan. Out in public, it's lively and active, and the vibe is very much different. It's a really fun time, and the night market here in Myeongdong is one of my favorite places to be in all of Asia. Now, there are plenty of places to stay in Seoul, and it's a big city, but if you want to be near the Myeongdong area, which I highly suggest so that you can go to the night market whenever you want, the hotel that I stayed at is the Hotel Prince Seoul, which is conveniently located directly across the street from the Myeongdong night market and directly on top of the Myeongdong subway station. And the bus that I mentioned, Route 6001 from Incheon International Airport, stops right in front of the hotel, meaning that you can go straight from the airport to the hotel and go from the hotel directly to the night market, and go straight to the subway station from the hotel and use that to get around Seoul. Basically, it's super convenient. The hotel rooms are fine. They're not luxury, but for the convenience, it's top tier. The staff was very friendly, and there is a coin-operated washer and dryer in the lobby, along with storage lockers as well. Now, Myeongdong Station is located directly outside of the hotel, and it's a really neat place too because there's a ton of shops inside of the station itself that sells everything from trendy clothes to K-pop merch. And if you are a K-pop fan, there are plenty of stores in Myeongdong for you to shop at, including ones in the station here as well. Also in the station, you will find ATMs to withdraw cash from, and you will need some cash for the night market. So it is a very convenient place to top off if you need more cash. I make quite a few trips to the ATM here to fund our night market purchases, and it was very convenient. There is also a Popmart in Myeongdong for those of you who are looking for the coveted loot boxes, and while I was there, every single day there were lines out the door for Labubus, and inside of the store was just madness. Though something interesting is that in June of 2025, Labubus were banned from being sold in Korea due to safety concerns and crowd sizes in stores. I did wait in one of these long lines super early in the morning and was like 7th in line, and of course I stocked up on boxes. Just the wrong boxes. Instead of getting Labubus, which was what everyone was in line for, I ended up getting some League of Legends boxes because I tried to get them in Japan, but they were sold out everywhere.
You got it?
He got it!
Wow, Hoang the beast.
Wow!
He knew
He's
through the thing.
amazing!
Oh, Joshua.
Oh!
Wow, Hoang actually has a match.
Wow, Hoang is clutch!
Wasted opportunity? Perhaps. Anyway, to travel around Seoul and navigate around, Google Maps does not work well in South Korea. It can give you a rough idea of public transportation, but it is terrible and completely lacking when it comes to driving instructions or walking instructions. So don't use Google Maps. Instead, in South Korea, download and use the Naver Map app, which is the preferred navigation app for South Korea. You can also use the Klook app to get an eSIM card to get data in South Korea. Use my promo code Pham to get up to 10% off your first order on Klook, and I'll leave that information down below. The subway system in Seoul is world class. It's ultra clean and very efficient, though not quite to the level of Japan's inefficiency, but it's still very, very good. I personally love how the stations have full doors that block off the tracks from the waiting platform. The big thing here, if you're coming from Japan, is you don't have to be silent on the trains. You will find people talking everywhere on the train, and the Seoul metro system has 4G and 5G infrastructure to support data and phone calls on the subway system. So no more, oh no, I'm in a tunnel moments. Everywhere you go, you will have data. The subway trains also have heated seats so that in the winter, it's not as freezing. All of these things make for a really pleasant metro experience, and that's why Seoul's metro system is ranked as one of the best, if not the best in the world. As far as things to do in Seoul, if you are into shopping, two major malls that you can check out are the Starfield Coex Mall in Gangnam, which for most people, if you hear Gangnam, you think of the iconic song Gangnam Style, which the tribute statue to that song is located right outside of this mall. Inside, you will also find the iconic Starfield Library, which is super picturesque, and if you are a photographer like me, this is a must-see spot. The other major mall is the Lotte World Mall, which is part of an entire massive complex filled with a massive mall to shop in and a massive amusement park, an entire ice rink, an entertainment area, an aquarium, a massive tower, an observation deck, and pretty much anything you can think of. Lotte World is where you want to stay if you are bringing kids to South Korea and want a ton to do without going far. Though if you are staying in the Myeongdong area, there are plenty of amazing shops there too, like a Nike store that you can create your own custom clothes. And while we were there, they had a collab with the K-pop group New Jeans so that you could create Nike themed New Jeans merch. There's also Seoul and Korea specific things to personalize your Nike merch with as well. Another iconic location that you can visit in Seoul and one that you can see from Myeongdong is the Namsan Tower. Tower. The tower itself is a national landmark and is featured in a lot of shows and music videos. You can take a cable car that takes you to the top of the mountain that the tower sits on, and that costs around 15,000 won or around $11, which is a pretty great price to pay in my opinion to save you from having to walk up the mountain, unless that's what you want to do. The famous love locks at the base are a very fun and touristy thing for couples to do, where you purchase a lock and add it to the massive collection of locks there. The view from the observation deck is quite stunning, as the tower is elevated and gives you an amazing 360-degree view of the city. The tower entrance fee is 26,000 won or around $19. Also nearby Myeongdong and inside of Seoul, you can go to the Gyeongbokgung Palace, and if you want to make the experience here more fun, you can rent Hanboks, or the traditional Korean outfits to wear to take photos at the palace. So if you are facing the front of the palace, go to the left of the main gate and walk to the end of the street and cross that street. And at that corner, you will find a ton of shops for hanbok rentals. Some are more expensive than others, and the one that we went to was called Gwangsul Hanbok and was on the 3rd floor of this building. It was kind of small, but we had a great experience there, and it had beautiful hanboks, all on the cheaper side price-wise compared to some of the other places. This place has very few reviews, maybe because of its location and how it's not quite as prominent as some of the other locations, but the reviews are pretty highly rated, and this could quite possibly be a hidden gem location if you are looking to rent a hanbok. After this, head back to the palace to take your photos, and if you are wearing a hanbok, you can enter the palace for free, which is kind of cool. It makes you feel like royalty. It doesn't matter where you rented from. If you aren't wearing a hanbok, you have to pay the 3,000 won entrance fee, which is around $2 at the time of making this video. The palace makes for some great photos, but if you go when I did in December, just know that it is cold in South Korea, and I had a lot of layers and jackets when I was there, but when I changed into the hanbok, it was freezing. I had my winter jacket on top of the hanbok, and when we took photos, I would take my jacket off, pose for the photo, and then immediately put my jacket back on because it was so cold. While we were there in December of 2024, there was a protest going on outside of the palace, and it was a wild time to be there. Another must-do thing in Korea is to go to a Korean spa. We went to the Riverside Spa Land, and it was a fun time. It is a pretty good-sized spa with a lot of really neat amenities. So how this spa works is that when you enter, you go up to a kiosk and you buy tickets for the amount of people that you have. Tickets are sold by gender, so make sure you get the one for the appropriate gender. After you get your ticket, it will have a locker number on it, and you will take your shoes off and walk into the spa and go to the locker area, where you will find the locker in the appropriate gender area with your number on it. So from there, you will go get your outfit from the front desk and go into the appropriate gender changing area. In the changing area, there are also lockers, and you can use your key to lock those lockers as well. The shower and hot tub area is inside of this gender separated changing area, and that is because when you go into the shower area or the hot tub area, you don't wear any clothes. So that's something to know. Then you can change into the outfit that you're given, which is blue if you're a guy and pink if you're a girl. Then you can go upstairs to the joint spa area and hang out with friends in various cold and hot rooms, and there are a lot of hot rooms of varying temperatures. There's also a dining area where you can get full meals, and those were quite good. And there's also a snacks bar which you can go and buy snacks just to enjoy with your friends and have a good time. All in all, it was really relaxing, and if you've watched Korean dramas or variety shows where they hang out in the spas and play games and eat food, then this was very reminiscent of all of that, and it was a relaxing way to end our trip. To get back to the airport at the end of your trip, you can go to the same bus stop in Myeongdong that you got dropped off at, right across the street from the Hotel Prince and next to the night market. While you can spend a whole trip exploring all that Seoul has to offer, If you are planning a trip from Japan, you can easily make the short trip to South Korea and explore all of the things mentioned in this video in around 2 to 3 days if you are efficient. So it is something that you can add to your Japan trip without having to make another trip out of it. Though after experiencing all of this in Seoul, you may end up wanting to make another trip back for more of that amazing croffle in the night market. There's so much more to do in Seoul and Korea, and this is just a brief video that only begins to scratch the surface of what Seoul has to offer. If you want more South Korea guides, let me know in the comments section down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.